Imagine Jesus, whom we have known to be the loving God, the gentle Jesus, of course, meek and humble of heart, now coming to speak to us with such harsh words. Yeah, those words sound very harsh, saying, I have not come to bring peace, but what? Division. And he said that people will be divided, families will be divided. And he also spoke of fire. He said, I came to cast fire on the earth, and would that it were already kindled. Jesus is not really saying that you should fight everybody you see, no, or anybody you could hit the person. No, that's not what Jesus is saying. He is not promoting chaos, but he's saying that we live in a society, in a world where a Christian, a follower of Jesus, cannot afford to remain neutral or cannot afford to sit on the fence in the face of decadence, corruption, bad things happening. We have to take a stand. For instance, sometimes in the recent past, after Mass or during Mass, we have spoken about maybe when the Archdiocese sends a handbill, a card that you expected to fill out, place a stamp on it and put it and drop it in the post, maybe going to your MP. This is one of the ways you let your voice be heard, because you have observed what's going on in the society, and you know certainly that this kind of activity or this kind of bill or law, if it is coming into place, is going to hit against your faith. Then you start speaking out in one way or the other. I feel this is what Jesus is saying, that if you want to be a follower of his, especially in these days, you always have to take a stand. There is no room for sitting on the fence. Even if it means disagreeing with someone who is your friend, even if it means disagreeing with a family member, but insofar as you know that this is what God says and this is what is right, stand by what is right. Even if it means having to lose friends, people who are close to you, then let them go. That's what Jesus is saying. That's a kind of division. So he used the example of families to say that even if it is a member of your family, now think of what it will be if the person is not even a member of your family, or if the person who holds an extreme opinion or an opinion contrary to your Christian teachings, to your doctrines, then you have to say no, stand on what is right. It takes courage, but such are the kind of Christians that Jesus wants. And that is the fire he's talking of. If you want to be a representative of Christ, you have to be on fire. That fire is the zeal burning in you. When you talk about zeal, sometimes we say that the zeal is burning in you, is burning in your heart, which means you're ambitious, you want something done. It burns in you like fire. That is the kind of fire Jesus is talking about, to be his representatives. Jesus is no longer on the earth physically. He's gone back to heaven, but we have him in the Holy Eucharist. We have him living in our hearts. So if you want Jesus to move today, then you have to realize that he lives in you. Then you move and be sure that this is Christ moving. So that when you stretch your hands to help the needy, to offer a helping hand to someone, that's the hand of Jesus. When you go out to speak to someone who is devastated, who is in sorrow, who needs encouragement, now that is Jesus speaking to that person. When you feed the hungry, that is Jesus placing food on the table for the person who is hungry. This is how Jesus works today. So anytime you happen to see someone physically who dressed like Jesus and said, I am he, that is the Antichrist. It's not Jesus. That person is false. Jesus is in you, and is in you, and is in you, and is in me. When I'm doing something good, bear it in mind that Jesus could borrow your hand. So you lend Jesus your hand, lend Jesus your feet, lend Jesus your voice to speak out. May the Lord help us as we continue to stand by the Lord, to identify strongly with the Lord and say to him, Lord, I am your own till the day he will come. May his grace abound for us through Christ our Lord.